The hype for Brawl Stars is increasing, and not just a little, but unfortunately, since the update, the game still has quite a few bugs. Today we're going to talk a bit about that famous maintenance because there are still some things that have changed. There are things I absolutely have to give you, and they could really help you in the game this time. And of course, we're going to talk about this famous hype, how it's evolving, and there are plenty of things to discuss, especially a new skin rarity. We're going to take a look at all of that. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're here as usual. We're going to start this video right away so I don't keep you waiting. Don't forget, as always, to like, comment, subscribe, and of course use the code PERIADO. You know the drill, so I hope you enjoy watching. As usual, we're going to the famous Super C store. There's actually a free cow star drop to claim. It's worth it. You never know. If it splits into several, you might get lucky and get something good. Also, there are new offers that have appeared, especially today. For example, you can get 150 gems at 50% off. In short, Golden Week continues, and there are some really great deals. For deal hunters, now's the time to stock up. These offers only appear twice a year. Black Friday and Golden Week don't bring thousands of deals, and the same applies to those wanting skins. Or anything else, don't forget to buy from Super C Store. It gives you points. You can use those points in the ID and reward section to buy skins or even more. Remember to check this out if you want something. This is the place, especially now. So what happened on Brawl Stars? There have been quite a few little things. Last time there was that maintenance everyone was talking about that was supposed to fix all the bugs, and that was only 3 days ago. It's not that long ago, and don't worry, I'll be able to give you a Damien box. I'll give it to you in a few minutes. After that maintenance, it still didn't work well, so yesterday we got more compensation, even though we had already received 5,000 binks first. Remember, if you haven't claimed it, it only lasts 2 days and ends soon. And that's really cool because this compensation is just to make up for the fact that the Rarities shop started off pretty chaotically with all the bugs, the infamous prices, and so on. Anyway, I just want to say, it's pretty great for us. 5,000 binks in total. We've actually been given 10,000 binks. And that's not all, because those who didn't get any exclusive cosmetics in the Rarities shop or in the star drops got an extra 1,000 binks. Just saying, it's awesome. They got nothing but still get compensation. That's great. And for the players who got any of those items, they told us it might take a few days to remove them. So if you still have those items, let's say it's normal, well, you'll also get compensation. In other words, Brawl Stars is just giving out compensation everywhere. If there are bugs, well, that means free rewards too. As we can see, the big bugs are gone, but of course there are still plenty of small bugs left. We'll see these little bugs in the video, and there might be some other free things too. At least now you're aware of them. We also have the Dragon Effect season that's about to end, and you can see the trophy rush is active, so you can earn more trophies if you really want to play. Let's say it's this weekend. And on top of that, there's a mega rush coming tomorrow, so really this weekend, that's why you can win mega boxes. In short, there's a lot going on. In other words, now's the time to play Brawl Stars. There are quite a few rewards. It's the weekend when there's a lot going on. And since there are a lot of things going on right now, I'm giving you this little QR code. If you scan it, you'll get a free Damien box, which might help you unlock the brawler for free. That's always a treat. Don't worry if you don't have the scanner. I'll add the link in the description and in the pinned comment. And that's not all. Besides getting that famous box, you'll also get, and here's where luck comes in, a cool t-shirt like this. These are really cool t-shirts. It's from Damien's collection. It's a Brawl Stars collection. Basically, among the creators, there's going to be a raffle, and some creators will be able to give out a few t-shirts. And right now, we don't know who will be able to give them out, but you never know. Some people get selected, so they'll be able to do raffles for these cool t-shirts. It's Brawl Stars stuff. There you go. Let's say it's a little bonus, but the most interesting thing we agree is still the box. At least you can get the brawler for free, and that's not the only thing that happened, and we're actually going to dive a bit into everything that happened with this famous update. You'll see, there's a lot of stuff. In particular, the new interface has arrived. You may have seen it, but there are a few little things that are super useful in this interface. First, you can set favorites, which is awesome. You can add notes, which lets you know when you added them, and if you want to remember maybe an event, why you added it, etc. It's always cool. If it's a secondary account or something, you can make a note, and even for checking their matches and so on. A lot of things have changed. And that's not all, because the friends list has actually been increased to 500. Maybe some of you have trouble adding friends. I get it. It might not be useful for you, but feel free. In the description, let's say promote yourselves. Honestly, I don't mind. It might help you and help you discover new friends too. But it's cool. The more friends you have, honestly, the better. At least I can find teammates to play with. Honestly, the interface they've made for Brawl Stars is better. I think anyway, it's much better like this. It's cleaner, it's easier to understand. In short, it's much better. I think it's really cool. Brawl Stars, they said this, calling all Brawl Stars esports fans. Would you like to see any meme or emoji made into pins? We can actually leave our suggestions in the comments, at least to add something, and I think that's really cool. We can see some little pins that are coming and so on this way. I'll tell you, it's possible that one of these pins or memes could be added to Brawl Stars. That's pretty cool. If you have suggestions, I can propose them too, and we'll try to get them approved. I'm not promising anything, but maybe I can add a bit more value. You remember those skins? They were released not too long ago, so I know you remember them, but be careful. Not everything has been released yet. In these cosmetics, for those who are really collecting, there are especially pins and icons that will be released in addition to all that. For example, with the icons, we only had these at the very beginning. We have a new All Might icon that just released. Also, you can see this famous Gus, though seeing it like this might seem lame since there's no effect. Well, listen, Frank actually talked about this. Frank clarified the situation and said he would definitely add effects to Gus's ultimate, and in the end, it really was a bug. So, this bug could also be seen on the developer account. Just goes to show, even developer accounts don't get everything right away. So yes, there are bugs pretty much everywhere. Now, the only problem is that we don't know when it's going to be fixed. But there you go. If you get him, don't worry. You'll have a real ultimate effect and not just the basic thing. Like you can see here, for example, on April 29th, we got the new shop and it's been completely updated. And this time we have more offers. You know, normally we only had 4 offers. So now we have 6 offers plus 4. And above all, everything should be fixed, etc. But there have been a few small changes. And I think that's really cool. Here are all the sprays available in the Auditis shop after the maintenance. In total, 54 sprays have been removed, so now there are only 156 left to get. If you want a specific spray, it's here. All exclusive sprays have been removed, so you can't get them now. Everything is fixed. I still see that famous spray here, even though it's supposed to be rare, so I think they'll remove a few more sprays and maybe give more compensation for icons, pins, and similar items. There are actually 88 pins that have been removed, so there are 948 left that you can get. In other words, that's a huge number of pins. Yeah, there are still quite a lot of options. Here, only 142 are shown. He showed the coolest ones. For example, you see the ones with the monkey like this. Anyway, some things that we can say are kind of iconic, but you can't get everything. But you can get 948 pins. So, as you can see, there are still quite a lot of options. There are also Brawl Pass pins and even Brawler pins that have been added. That's why there are so many pins. There you go, at least you know a few of them. And as for the icons, 65 icons have been removed. There are only 162 left to get. Same thing, you can see all the icons you can get for free in this famous shop. Once again, you know this now. Let's continue with these famous skins since there are several updates. A new rarity has appeared, especially for Chinese Brawl Star. We'll discuss it. And after talking a bit about these skins, this shop, etc., we're going to talk about the hype around Brawl Star and actually do a review. Chinese Brawl Star released a new rarity, the Eternal skins. This one is for Gigi. It's a skin we won't have here. But there you go, they're releasing another rarity. There was already a rarity that we didn't have, which was the Ultra Legendary rarity. Now there's an Eternal skin rarity. Anyway, there are plenty of other skins that have been added. We'll show a few of them. Honestly, the skins are super original. It literally doesn't even look like Brawl Stars. For example, you can see that the skins, like Star Nova, well, it's not even a skin, but the Brawler Star Nova. You might think this isn't really Brawl Stars since these skins have nothing to do with it. Just look at the skin and its effects. Here, it's only his gadget. I think that's cool since all the gadgets have real effects. For example, you can see the spawn effect here. For example, honestly, I think the skins are beautiful. There are so many effects, as you can see. Now, it literally doesn't even look like Brawl Stars anymore, so I don't really know what you think about these so-called Eternal skins, but all this is to say that it's a new rarity. So you're going to ask me how much it costs? Well, that's a very good question because for now, I don't have that much info. I've just seen a few videos about it at the same time. It only came out 2 days ago, but at least you can see a bit of what the skins look like. For example, we have the famous Spike here. And the question is, do you want me to go on the Chinese version of Brawl Stars and try them out? Because honestly, that could be really unique. Just look at what these skins look like. Honestly, it's a gem. I have to tell you, clearly it's a gem. We have a skin for Doug as well that looks like this. All of this is the new rarity, so Eternal skin. So here, for example, you can see his attack, and honestly, the attack looks amazing. He uses his ultimate, and you can see what it looks like. It's a gem. I have to tell you, clearly it's a gem. Nani's is the same. Wait, this Nani is an absolute banger. What is this crazy thing? The attack and everything is perfect. There are elimination effects. If you want, I can quickly check out the Chinese version of Brawl Stars. There are several skins, including Edgar and other new additions shown on the left. Even this one. What is this thing? What is this thing? Same. Even the head. It's a shame. I think there's no animation on the head. Maybe it's still being modeled. Well, I think it's time to go check it out. As I mentioned, 19 skins belong to this famous rarity. You can partially see the name, which in French is something like the story or tale of the underworld. At least you get a preview of it all. So, for example, you can see Gigi, who seems to be the main skin, since she has a lot of emotes. But there's also Edgar, Nani, Shade, Pike, Doug, Mortis, Wally Tick, and actually there are 19 skins because there are also a lot of variants. Anyway, honestly, it's pretty interesting. I'm actually quite surprised by all these skins. Meanwhile, we have the My Hero Academia skins, and we can't complain because honestly, it's a really great collaboration. By the way, Frank revealed that these famous skins had the most successful launch in the history of Brawl Stars. Notably the famous legendary skin and Primo All Might, which is the top selling skin. Also, the My Hero Academia skins are handled like those from the old system. since they were made before the famous update for Mythic and Legendary skins. So yes, Mythic and Legendary skins have changed. That means, for example, there's no death effect on the Legendary skin, and there's no spawn effect either, which is a bit of a shame. They tried to rename the skin L Might instead of All Might, but had to keep the original names, especially for characters. The My Hero Academia skins will return for gems, which we already knew, but we don't know when. They'll likely return 3 or 4 times before becoming truly exclusive, probably in May 2027. We don't know the exact date, but you have about a year to buy them. Be careful, they'll show up 3 or 4 more times. Only with gems, never with bling, so never free. Since we're on announcements, let's continue. He was asked about upcoming collaborations or brand involvement. He confirmed collaborations with brands will always happen. There will be many types of skins, possibly even random ones, but is that bad? Pop culture is about everyone having their own reference and being happy with their skin. It's not so bad and doesn't ruin the game, they're just skins. Will there still be collaborations that are purely cosmetic, like skins? He said that it doesn't depend on them because, for example, many Japanese brands don't feel comfortable with major events. So, if they want to collaborate with them, it should only be for skins. So for most anime, there will definitely be skins and not events like, for example, we saw with the sushi or the goof with Stranger Things and so on. He said they aim to tell stories in the Brawl Stars universe and include collaborations. That's honestly interesting to hear. By the way, now in the shop, you can buy Nadia's Hypercharge with gold only. No need to buy it with gems anymore. You never know, but if you have gem offers, honestly, buy it. I'm talking about when there are discounts, just to be clear. And one last thing before talking about the hype around Brawl Stars and everything that's happening, Meg and Buggy. But this bug is pretty interesting. Basically, for example, you can see Meg here. Her mecha is about to break. Once her mecha is broken, you can see she has all her health. But if she charges her ultimate and she doesn't have all her health, for example, you can see she had 942 health. She uses her ultimate like this, and her mecha has exactly the same health that Meg had. But if this mecha disappears, you can see that Meg has all her health back. So for example, little Meg has 1000 health. She transforms with her ultimate, but her mecha only has 1000 health. Be careful when using it. There is a real bug. Now, let's discuss the Brawl Stars hype. You can see that for a year, the Brawl Stars hype has gradually decreased, and since 2026, there's been a new peak. Actually, since, let's say, July, Brawl Stars wasn't doing so well, but since the beginning of July. Since 2026, especially July and February, which were very strong months, now with Brawl Talk and the My Hero Academia collaboration, Brawl Stars seems to be returning to its 2025 prime, when things were going pretty well. But we still remember the real peak was 2024, and if we look at, for example, the last 5 years to see how things have changed, we can see that Brawl Stars, well, in 2024, it increased a lot. And gradually, in 2025, it kept going down little by little. In 2026, we saw growth again. This growth is especially noticeable with YouTubers coming back to the game. For example, Unchained. We're not just going to focus on France. We'll talk more about that, don't worry. But let's take a look at the whole world. How is it going worldwide? The peak is even more intense. You can see that, for example, compared to France, the interest in Brawl Stars is much higher, so Brawl Stars gets searched more often. This means that the hype for Brawl Stars worldwide is much higher than in France. Could it spread to France? I think so, yes. For example, the Brawl Stars hype in April 2026 is right here. It's almost at the same level as 2024. The only peak was during May 2024, but it's almost at the same level as March 2024. Let me tell you, Brawl Stars is really in its prime worldwide, especially in the United States. I looked at the United States and you can see that the hype for Brawl Stars has really gone up. It's higher than in France, especially. But in other countries like Brazil, for example, it has exploded. It's even higher than in 2024. The hype isn't the same everywhere, but the hype spreads around the world. That means indeed it could quickly happen in France. And Brawl Stars would be played even more than it is now. It's very likely. And as I told you, you can see it with YouTubers coming back to the game. So, is it a bad thing? Because a lot of YouTubers are criticized. Because yes, they only switch for the money. Is it true? Yes. Honestly, we can't deny it. A lot of creators just want to make money, plain and simple. So, they go after the hype, they try to predict where they could earn the most. Not everyone does this just out of passion. No, and I think you can guess that. Consider Leche, who recently made a video on this topic. That video has 930,000 views, which is a bit higher than his usual average for videos. Is there a chance he'll make more videos? Yes, definitely. If he gets a lot of views on his Brawl Star video, it will lead to more videos. Yes, definitely. If he gets a lot of views on his Brawl Star video, it will lead to more videos. Because he'll realize that the stats are there. And so, of course, he'll make more of them. And here, we're talking about Unchained because he's one of the biggest gaming YouTubers. And this person is also going to influence other people. And those people who are influenced by Unchained, for example, will go on to influence others and so on and so forth. It's going to be like dominoes. So, yes, indeed, some creators are in it for the money, but is that a bad thing for the game? Well, no. In fact, I'd even say on the contrary, the game is going to get another boost, and even right now, I'd say that's kind of what's happening. Because if people play, well, that's going to bring in more people. Anyway, I think you get the idea. Now, what's unfortunate, and it's something I keep repeating, It's a shame that some people don't do it just out of passion as well. A lot of people are only in it for the money. And unfortunately, when the game, well, starts to go downhill, everyone jumps ship and everyone leaves. But is that really normal? Well, yes, because their reason is money. If the game gets fewer stats, of course they're going to leave because they're earning less. Anyway, you get it. It's kind of either a virtuous circle or a vicious circle. The better the game does, the more creators there are and the more rewards there are, and the worse the game does, the fewer creators there are and the fewer rewards there are, so fewer people play. At least now you have a bit of an analysis of all that. Now let's continue a bit with what happened in Brawl Stars. We just talked about Brazil, and there was a Gamescom that happened. It's a kind of conference in Brazil. You can see everything that was given out. There was a concert, especially by Good Rondoms. It took place from April 30 to May 3, 2026. That's one of the reasons why there's a reward in Brazil. Brawl Stars is really trying to promote the game so more and more people in South America will play it. And it's working. That's also why Brawl Stars is climbing back up so much. They handed out posters and similar items. Also, there's a shop offer now. You can buy a Buffis for 79 gems, which is a good deal if you have gems. Still, be cautious. Nothing is truly profitable. But compared to, say, 2,000 power points and 1,000 gold, yes, it's worth it. The ratio is pretty good, so if you want to get it, go ahead. Otherwise, there's the offer for Nasia's Hypercharge. That's definitely worth it too. Frank just spoke about the monthly updates. He wants to increase update testing. Very interesting. He already mentioned in a video that the goal was to have monthly updates starting from the third quarter of 2026. Well, now, he says they're not going to rush to bring them out because they need to fix several things and it will happen sooner or later. And at the same time, I want to say, considering the bugs, maybe they shouldn't release them right away. On the other hand, the monthly updates will already arrive in the fourth quarter, October, November, and December. So from 2026 or even later in 2027. So October, November, December, we would have something like a monthly Brawl Talk, or the Brawl Bro Talk would summarize 2 updates, which is also likely. He also said that in the next update, testing time will be increased by 100% to reduce bugs. Luckily, there are also 2 My Hero Academia cosmetics coming soon, an icon and a spray. They're the 2 cosmetics that haven't been released yet, one for Deku and one for All Might. In Brazil, there was a small concert and we were able to see this. So I don't know what you think about it, but there are Brawl Stars animations, that's a fact. I just wanted to tell you it could be nice or not. It depends if you like it, it's just for fun. There was even a dance. I'm not sure if we'll watch it all the way through. So, there's Melody. We can see Stu, Buzz, Poco, Dianette like that. So we're not going to watch more of this video. It can be a bit awkward, but they did a kind of concert like that. I think for kids it can be really cool, it can be funny. I think after a certain age it can be something else, but honestly the dance is well done. It's the Brawl Star dance. They're in sync. Depending on your age, you might enjoy it. Brawl Star is trying new things and you can see their booth with a huge arcade and a Star Park sign. Anyway, there's still a really cool activity at the booth. In Supercell's revenue for the month of April, since April just ended, we can get a look at Supercell's earnings. Keep in mind, this only includes revenue from the Apple Store and Play Store, not the Supercell Store, but it gives us an idea. And you can see that, for example, Clash Royale is struggling. They're really struggling. Clash Royale is almost at the same level as Heyday, just to show you how much Clash Royale has dropped. Knowing that Clash Royale in November and December was at its peak, they had almost $70 million in revenue. That was huge. Brawl Stars, 42 million, that's very good. It's only growing. I want to say, Brawl Stars is doing great. You can especially see it in its updates and in the revenue. As for the rest, Boom Beach, etc. Moko, well, Moko 12,000, that's terrible. I have no other word, it's terrible. But in any case, it's interesting to see that, especially for the health of Brawl Stars. As for the bugs that are still in this version, we can guess there will be another maintenance break. We actually have a bug with Billy's Hypercharge or even Frank's. There's also arcades, especially in Heist I saw a bug. Colette's Bouquet, well, there are still bugs. There's also Nadia's Tool. Basically, the snakes are still exploding. Whereas normally, they're not supposed to explode anymore when they're dead. Yanette, there's a bug. There's a bug with Lola's ego that deals much more damage than it should. Ziggy, well, it's very minor. We saw Meg's as well. Anyway, there are still quite a few little bugs as you can see, and especially a bug in Brawl Ball with the walls, how you shoot and so on. As for the community's reactions, regarding the community's reaction, I did see quite a few little things. And we'll stop right after this. You can see an offer in particular. Honestly, this kind of offer is incredible. Unfortunately, there's no discount on it. That's a bit of a shame. But you can choose your mythic skin of choice, and you get 2 Chaos Star drops. On the other hand, right next to it, and for a lower price, you can see 13,000 blinks. Here, it's 12,000 blinks. You get 2 absolutely amazing banger skins. You can see it's 50% off, but honestly, when you have offers like this, it's incredible. And since we're talking about offers, there you go. Some people have this. You can choose your super rare skin of choice. It's great, but there's not even a discount, and it's the same offer 3 times. Honestly, I really hope they'll improve this shop. At the same time, I want to say it's new, so well, it needs to be fixed. We need to learn more about how it works. After that, I think it will improve daily. You now have 3 similar offers. If you don't want one, you likely won't want the others, especially since 2 are nearly identical except for the icon. Honestly, 2 random star drops aren't very useful. Nice timing, Supercell. When they offered Golden Dug, it was fixed in a few hours. Those famous boxes like this, that's a bit older. The 140 boxes were fixed in 30 minutes. The 100 KO star drops like this in 1 minute. Not even, honestly, in just a few seconds. And Immortal Colette, it's been more than a week now. Yeah, well, you fix things when it suits you. Well, to be fair, it's only offers in the shop or in a daily deal. It's easier to remove. A gameplay bug like this isn't something I can fix quickly. I think they could be faster, but fixing bugs isn't always equally difficult. Because if they fix this, well, it could cause other issues too. That's why you have to be careful. Unpopular opinion, but it's the worst legendary skin in the game. I see why some think that, especially since it lacks elimination or spawn effects, likely because it's a collaboration skin. It was made before the skin rarity rework, so I get it. Still, it's a great skin, especially for My Hero Academia fans. You can't take that away. Those who love the series will obviously find the skin amazing. Latest news, Meepo can remove Colette's infinite shield with a gadget. That's really interesting. We can see a Colette who's going to take the teleporter. Meepo just has to use a gadget, and you'll see this gadget will simply remove the shield like that, so Colette will get killed in a few seconds. It's much easier this way. A little tip you never know. It might be useful for you. Anyway, we'll stop here. I hope you enjoyed this video as usual. See you next time. Thanks to everyone who used the Periado code. Your support means a lot. The next video may help us discover all the skins. Share your thoughts. See you next time. Bye, Code Periado.